let's get started. Jacqueline Kennedy. Nita version. Jacqueline Kennedy. Let's get started. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed the previous episode about John F. Kennedy. So today we will be talking about Jacqueline Kennedy, as I suspected. So let's get started. Now, we all know how Jacqueline Kennedy was in her early years. Well, okay, we don't. I was joking around there. But we do know how she seemed to do these things well. I mean, in her early days, well, which I really don't know much about, she was just the woman she could have hoped for she could be. But however, she was also a mischievous woman, or could say girl in her day, because she was really bored with school a bit, because she almost knew everything the courses were given. Eventually, she went to Vassar College, but then transferred to Georgetown University for her senior, and then she started working for the Washington Times-Herald, and eventually she married John F. Kennedy. So while I skip back to that guy, to Jacqueline Kennedy, let's just talk about how we seem to know her a lot, because of her own personal years, for that matter. All it took for her to do all these was just a little effort from her own part of her brain. Now, women, there are a lot of women in history that are very famous, and just not all of the women in history are actually very famous. But Jacqueline Kennedy was mainly famous for all her work and being the wife of John F. Kennedy. And also, she reminds me of Barack Obama's wife, to be honest. Now, Jacqueline Kennedy was herself an own role model, because she even charmed the French. Wait a second. To believe in the United States of America. And that's all it took for them. Just having charmed by Jacqueline Kennedy, that's all it took for the French to believe in JFK. I mean, during their alliance, it was during the during the World War II. And as I explained it earlier in the John F. Kennedy episode, I'm not going to explain it again. But all it took for this to happen was just a little spark of her own inspiration. And Miss Jacqueline Kennedy was not exactly her own role model either. Even after JFK died, she remarried a guy named Aristotle Onassis, and she started working as an editor at the Doubleday in 1977. In 1994, however, she got cancer and she died. Oops. And that's all it took for us to do all of this. Jacqueline Kennedy have gone so far with this, and to be honest, she isn't as interesting as John F. Kennedy himself. I mean, she was a world famous fashion figure, and she did love riding horses. What was that all took for when everything else and out there was something else? She could have been something else. But all it took for her to do this was her own willpower skills. And so yeah, that's all it took for her to be doing like this. So right now, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did enjoy this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next episode. Stand out. Peace. Subscribe, like, ring bell button, share.